Hijacking Bitcoin, the hidden history of BTC. In this video, I'm going to break down a great interview done by Catherine Austin Fitts of Steve Patterson. All right, I'm going to make a recommendation on it and talk a little bit about the psychological operation going on right now in Bitcoin. So coming up on Happy New Year. All right, this is Gavin. Hit the ones, hit the likes, subscribe if you haven't already. All right, leave a comment, and let's talk a little bit about this Catherine Austin Fitts. Now, she's a former Wall Street survivalist. She survived the cartel on Wall Street from poverty. She came up from nothing and made it to the top, and now she's about exposing these, exposing the truth. She's on a mission, really, of seeking the truth about the financial industry, about uncovering ways about this complete fraud and scam that's been going on in the mortgage industry and other industries. So she's a heck of a person to follow. Solari Report, and her video I'll post at the end with Steve Patterson. Now, Hijacking Bitcoin was a book that came out earlier this year, so I'll post a card here. You could watch my video when it came out by Roger Ver and Steve Patterson, and it tells the story about how BTC had hijacked Bitcoin, the name Bitcoin, and then they're passing off basically as Bitcoin, even though they are not Bitcoin. And so the real magic and the real power and the secret behind Bitcoin and the rest of the story that Catherine Austin Fitts hasn't yet to see yet is about, Bitcoin's power was it cut out the middleman. It was cash online. It is cash online for us, the people, without the middleman. Because it's the middleman who's always screwing us, who's always getting in the way and messing up our transactions. I mean, sometimes they're good, but we don't want the middleman. We don't want the government. We don't want the banks getting in the way of our transactions. That's why we want Bitcoin. The little everyday people, we want peer-to-peer cash. So when you're supporting BTC, the narrative that is out there right now, it's the legacy system. And that's why this is a great little video for the financial system to understand more about what happened to BTC, what happened to Bitcoin. Now, the rest of the story that's missing from this video is the Craig Wright aspect. Now, Craig Wright, I get it. He's the most hated man of all time. If you're in BTC, everybody hates Craig Wright. He's evil. He's the evil one. He's the Antichrist, they call him. Okay, so fine. Okay, but emotions aside and all the memes and jokes and nasty, mean things that you want to say about me and call me mean names and Craig Wright, mean names, anybody that talks about it's fine. Aside all that, now let's get back into the Bitcoin side. The Craig Wright aspect is that he developed the Scalable Bitcoin, which is this Terra Node aspect, which is rolling out right now, rolling at 1 million transactions a second. And they're doing about 28 to 30 million transactions, even 80 million transactions a day on mainnet right now with Terra Node. And so they just don't, BTC and the crypto narrative doesn't want people to know about this yet because it's true peer-to-peer electronic cash for the world. And this is the narrative that Hijacking Bitcoin doesn't tell you, is that Craig Wright actually was the one to architect Scalable Bitcoin. The true, massively scalable Bitcoin. It was his vision with the Terra Node team and the BSV Association. And so he's just glossed over, and his genius is glossed over inside of the book, just like with one sentence. So Roger Ver and him had a beef. Well, Roger Ver had a beef with him because Roger Ver's an anarchist. He doesn't believe in government, and he wants to survive without government, lawless in the streets type of situation. I guess vigilante justice. And that's just his mantra. He believes he's total anarchist to the full. And Craig Wright's just the opposite. He believes in law and order and statutes and codes and following court procedures. I mean, that's what he's basically, at least the avenue he's taken. So, Roger Ver got sued by Craig Wright, and Roger Ver took it personally. He split up with Craig. He hates Craig now, and he'll do anything to see him fail. So he didn't mention anything about Craig in the book. It was one sentence, and that is it's just a huge disservice to Bitcoin because of what Craig has basically done to Bitcoin, dedicated his whole life to it. The Satoshi element aside, because we know the court already said it wasn't Satoshi, and Craig's pretty much already he's handed that over to them, saying that fine, Okay, so we could put that aside. I mean, that's been the biggest contention ever, that Craig's Satoshi or not. All right, so he's putting that aside. So all that aside, he's dedicated his life to Bitcoin, and so his idea of, and his proof now of scaling Bitcoin and how to scale it through Terra Node is the real magic. And so that's been left out of the book and the video, the Steve Patterson stuff here in this. But definitely, I highly recommend checking it out. There's on the channel, there's shorts where not shorts, but like shorter videos that you can watch about the interview with Steve Patterson from Catherine Austin Fitts as well. It's called the Solari Report, and you could, check out the full video, which is about an hour and 45 minutes. I recommend that. And I recommend the book too. It's a really good book, especially for people who have yet to hear about the history of it all. A couple things to be coming. I'm definitely going to be working on scheduling a show with, probably not on YouTube, on Twitter. It'll be with Liz Crocken, and I want to do it with her and Kurt. I'd like to do a show with them coming up soon. Learn about the history. She's really curious about what's the difference between BSV and BTC. And what it's all about. And I mean, the simple basic difference is one is about peer-to-peer cash, the original Bitcoin system, which is cutting out the middleman, eliminating the middleman, having a trustless system to transact. That's BSV. And then BTC, which is just basically the legacy financial system again, bringing in another middle person, Lightning Network, and third layer, second layers, to keep the legacy system going. So the whole evolution of Bitcoin, I mean, the big invention, the reason I'm passionate about it is because I want to cut out the middleman. I want the middleman to be gone from my life so that I could begin to transact peer-to-peer, online, digitally, using the new internet, IPv6, and just pay and own my own data, have my own sovereignty of data so that I don't have to surrender all my rights over to every third party. I mean, I got almost a strike on YouTube the other day. I accidentally uploaded a video, which was a 5-hour video that I had recorded on a Zoom, on a call with like a bunch of people. And I wasn't even going to go public, but it was on there, and the video was recorded in like early 2023, and people were talking about things that were not allowed on YouTube. And I didn't even make it public. And they came down on me like a freaking ton of bricks, dude. They came down on me hard. And they said, this is not allowed. You cannot talk about this subject here on YouTube. And I was like, dude, it was really a threat. It's just threatening, And it's just, I hate being under the thumb of the middleman, But again, it is what it is. I mean, I surrender my rights when I uploaded this platform. I get it. And so you got to respect that. Terms and conditions, they kind of own you, Fluff tube, they own you, right? So it is what it is. I can deal with that, but I'd like to eventually learn how to use something like Tree Chat. It's a great new platform. I did a show on recently. I haven't been able to figure it out. I've logged in a couple times. It makes no sense to me at all right now. I'll be honest. It makes absolutely no sense. I see the thing. I see a post from 2 months ago. I'm like, dude, it makes no sense. Okay. Granted, I probably have to spend a lot more time on it to learn it, but I'm pretty savvy, and if it makes no sense to me, then, I can't imagine it's going to make any sense to a boomer, So I think we need a little bit more of a way to use the thing, because it doesn't make sense right now. I'm sure that Twitter didn't make sense when people first started using it. Facebook didn't make sense when people started using it. But in order to have mass appeal, we need to have what is the purpose of it here? Anyways, Tree Chat could be really a great platform. Rad TV could be a great platform. These things that are actually creating value and utility, and the content creator platform is not far off, dude. We got a couple updates on that. Is that we still have yet to figure out the stablecoin, thing, and everything's, I guess people just don't work during holidays. So the stablecoin, it's supposed to be launching but first by tackling this idea of instant onboarding. Call it instant onboarding. It's really just basically like all it is what you click buy now, and by going on the website, any website, let's say you're buying a Pokemon card, okay? $20. Click buy now. I'm buying the Pokemon card. Click buy now. And then by doing that, you enter the user enters their credit card or enters their PayPal or their Cash App or their Apple Pay or their Google Pay. And then it automatically creates a wallet for them. All right. And the transaction is automatically converted in the background to fiat, from fiat into technically a stable coin, all within basically 2 clicks. That has to happen. It's not being taken seriously right now. For whatever reason, it costs $250,000 to do it. That's the company that built the relationships with the banks to enable that concept. You're paying for that relationships to have happen. It hasn't been done. And it probably, I don't want to be, pessimistic, but it probably will never be done. People have their head so far up their ass, it's just ridiculous, and I mean, I feel like, it's just, what am I supposed to say? People, it's not, it's out of my hands. I'm not going to pay the $250,000. It's not a company thing. It's kind of a community idea. I don't have control of these things, but it's got to be done. They got to pull the trigger and make that integration happen before that stablecoin launches. Because who's going to use a stablecoin if you can't buy it? I mean, if you might as well just use the other one, right? Use all the other stablecoins. There's no point. Unless it's got something special, which is this 2-click fiat to stablecoin for using it to buy something. That's the big key. So we have that. If we can add that to the Bitcoin, the original Bitcoin ecosystem here real soon with money, it's called MMEEMNEE, then dude, there's going to be some major changes. And I'm optimistic that that's going to happen in 2025. My deadline was for it to happen by the 31st. It's not going to happen. Okay. So that's a little frustrating. And I mean, I have to just, anyways, it's frustrating that it didn't happen, but you can only do what you can control. And that's it's kind of out of my control, totally out of my control. So I'll keep people posted on that when I have more information. Be sure to check out the Hijacking Bitcoin, Solari Report interview with my man. Well, he's not my man, but from Roger Ver's partner, Steve Patterson, with the highly respected Catherine Austin Fitz. All right. At the end of this video. And hope you like my man. Well, Happy New Year. May go down to a little trip on New Year's. If I do, I'll do some videos on the road. Could have some surprise guests. Maybe my buddy Jeremo, who went out in the Chinese fugitive. How'd you like that little video I did about the Chinese fugitive guy? That's a true story. So that is a real deal, man. All right, that's all I got, man. A little rant. 30th. Happy New Year. Hit the 1, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll see you at the top. Later.